Hello and welcome to the Daily News Show. It's Monday. We've got 3 stories to talk about today. We're going to be talking about Georginio, Wijnaldum, also Ragnar, Klavan, and if we get time, a wee bit on Joe Allen, Aubrey. So I'm going to start off with the Georginio Wijnaldum story. Daily Telegraph and the Times are reporting that Liverpool are going to be bidding £20 million for the Newcastle midfielder. What are your initial thoughts on that?
I don't know, strangely ambivalent about it. I really rated him from what I'd seen of him when Newcastle were linked with buying him last summer. I thought that's going to be a good signing. Definitely one I'm going to stick in my fantasy football team because he's going to get goals. He's probably going to be cheap. You try and spread the goals out, don't you? Wijnaldum, Mane, Tadic, etc. Now that it's getting linked with Liverpool, is he good enough? I don't know. I looked him up, did a little bit of research on him on the transfer market. He played 38 times in the Prem last season, which would be every game in the Prem.
11 goals.
11 goals and 5 assists. Yeah. Actually, does this Liverpool team need 11 goals and 5 assists in the Premier League?
Don't forget, though, that 4 of them came against Norwich in one game.
But then exactly the same. I've wrote 4 in one game against Norwich, so that knocks him down.
And all at home. Didn't score away.
Again, there you go. So that's look, there's positives and negatives. He's very similar to Mane, not in terms of playing style, not in terms of his physical attributes, but in terms of that. Joe, you look at that stats. Mane was playing in the Premier League for a team who we should be finishing above, and he got goals. But Mane went and got like 3 goals in one match and got 2 in another match. So he scored in. If he could dick a team and he'd get a couple of goals, he didn't score consistently across it. From a sort of not a striker position, from a midfielder position. Who knows? If Klopp wants it, and again, I'm going to have to just cop out and basically and basically just be like, if Klopp wants him, that's who he should buy.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I suppose the interesting thing on the transfer is most of his appearances last season came off the left-hand side for Newcastle. I think he played a couple of times in the 10, once up front as well. Yeah. Once on the right, sorry. And I think he fits the mould in that he can sit in any of those 3 behind the 1.
But he's got a designated position that he's comfortable in, which we don't really have.
Technically, according to Benitez in March, when Benitez went to Newcastle, it was after a couple of weeks. I remember seeing something where he was talking about him and said, basically, he can play anywhere. He's that good. He can play in centre mid. He can play up front. That's the problem with him. So he kind of got shifted out on the left because that's where they were weakest. Yeah. But Benitez didn't think that was his strongest position. He thought that it was the 10. Just sitting behind the striker and linking
exactly
up
what
play
we need.
there,
which
is
short.
what we do need.
Do you think? We're not really short of 10s, are we?
Well, who would you say is the nailed-on number 10 in that squad?
Firmino.
But we've been playing him up front the last...
That's because Daniel Sturridge and Origi aren't there, you know what I mean? And we've been giving them half a game and they'll be playing. I think we can guaranteed say that Mane isn't the 10 because so far in the 3 matches he's played left and right. He's not gone anywhere near that 10 position, and he hasn't even had a little run out in the 9. So Mane's been bought to be our right winger, which is what Klopp said he wanted. He's not lied to us. He said he wanted pace and he wanted width. We've gone out and bought one. Coutinho, is he best coming in from the left? Is he best as a number 10? I tell you what, he doesn't offer you on the wing. He doesn't offer you width because he doesn't stick out there, and he doesn't offer you pace. So if Wijnaldum's faster than Coutinho, and he is, and he's more likely to be wide. So you're looking at a situation where you're playing Wijnaldum and Mane as out-and-out wingers, and then your 10 is between Lallana, Coutinho, Firmino. Mane could possibly come into there. I think that's a good option to have for competition.
I think from a pace point of view, having someone who can link up with the strikers much quicker is something that we don't have.
Yeah.
You know, Mane coming off the right-hand side, it's a lot further to come from the right and link up with your striker. Whereas if Wijnaldum was to play the 10, it's a completely different style of a number 10 to what we've got in Firmino. So I think as far as if you're building your squad there, £20 million, it seems like it could be a good deal because he signed for them beginning of last season for 14.5 million.
And he scored 11
and he's only gone up £5 million, which seems all right. Personally, I don't really want him at the club. I would be happy with Moussa Sissoko, even though Newcastle fans will tell you that he's crap. From what I saw at France in the Euros when I was watching him a lot, I thought he was a really good player. It's everything that I thought he was. But the Wijnaldum stuff, I don't know. No, it doesn't. And I think we need a central midfielder. Now, if Benitez says he can play there, great, but he's not. He's not played there, so where'd you go with that? So it is a bit of a strange one, but as you said, sort of to echo that, if Klopp wants him, then I'm happy to just back Klopp.
Yeah.
Especially after He came out at the weekend, didn't he, Jürgen, and said that I will disappoint Liverpool fans on transfers because I'm not going to be buying big names and all that type of stuff. You got to go back to remember what Klopp did at Dortmund, and we seem to be so quick to forget this, don't we? Because he brought in loads of players and developed them, and they hadn't been heard of at the time. We wanted Klopp because he did that, and when he's trying to do that at Liverpool, we're second-guessing him, and that's wrong, isn't it?
Because we all chase the big names, don't we? And we see other teams buying those names, and we get jealous, because you can see instant fix. Like, would you have wanted Kante?
Yeah,
of course you would have wanted Kante. You know what I mean?
More than anyone.
And there you go. And that's it. That's the problem, isn't it? We're in a very competitive Premier League with big name players moving around, all of them. I want every signing that's moved.
Yeah.
Because I'm greedy.
I'll tell you what, we'll move on to a centre-back that looks like the deal's going to complete before the American tour as well. Ragnar Klavan, poised to arrive at Anfield in a £4.2 million deal from Augsburg. 30 years old, 110 caps, I think, for Estonia. Yeah. He's the captain. It's a position that we desperately need cover for.
Yeah, I Wikipedia'd him. So he's been married 3 times. He was the scourge of the French and the English in the 9th century, and over 600 kills. I've looked up the wrong Ragnar, haven't I? No. So yeah, he's 6'1". He's left-footed, which is interesting because it doesn't necessarily address the imbalance of our centre backs. And also, he has played 9 times in his career out of 125 at left back for Augsburg, which again would give us the cover in a weak position that we've got. Look, I don't know, nothing's come out about it. Matip walked off the pitch with 4 minutes to go yesterday, and he was boss. Matip was really, really good, and we're going to do a bit of an Umbu final word coming out later about the Wigan game, but Matip has impressed me in that match.
Umbu's Uncensored match build-up show.
Sorry. Office, behind the house, behind the scenes speak there. But yeah,
what's an Umbu, lad?
But they can work it out. I'm sure someone's probably put the thumbnail or the title wrong at one point. But yeah, Matip walked off with 3 or 4 minutes to go. Now, nothing's really been said about that. If he's been struck down, we're really, really struggling. You know, Aubrey and Wisdom. Wisdom looked all right. Aubrey didn't look that great yesterday. I don't think they're the answer. I don't think anyone thinks they're the answer. So we need experienced cover.
A question for you. You just sort of said it then. Are we addressing the right or the left hand side? Are we addressing the right side with a bit of buying a left footer?
No, obviously not, because we've got like Lovren is more comfortable on the left, isn't he?
That's what has been said.
It's what he was supposedly. I think he
was much better on the right hand side last season.
Yeah, and Sako plays there. So having a third option in that would leave Matip as pretty much a guaranteed on the right, but then Lovren can play there. But so far it's been.
So it could actually be 2 and 2. It could end up being 2 and 2.
I don't think Ragnar will play. I think Ragnar is your...
he's short-term cover. No one thinks he's going to play, mate. He's short-term cover. He's brought in because of injuries.
He's a Kyrgios type signing, isn't he? You know, you get a couple of injuries and you go and pick up a seasoned pro experience who you can throw in for a few games and he's not going to be absolutely ridiculous. Because you've also got to protect kids. It's a position that I wouldn't be asked if we had to throw Ben Woodburn into games at times this season or Ryan Kent, because the worst he can do is just be anonymous in an attacking position. We've got £20 million Serbian internationals who are anonymous in attacking positions. You know, you can deal with that. You can kill a centre mid, a defensive centre mid, a centre back, and a goalkeeper. You throw a 17, 18-year-old lad in at the wrong time, and they have a nightmare. It can be pretty much career over for them. And so I think you've got to think about stuff like that. I'd be more happy if it was.
We're supposed to be getting linked. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, is that deal been completed?
No, I haven't seen it been done with Middlesbrough.
Don't think we'd get a work permit for Subotic. Because he retired from international football in 2013, so he doesn't hit the criteria. Whereas because he would go in as one of the highest earners at Middlesbrough, they can get it on the point system in the second stage. Cool. Whereas we wouldn't be able to. I don't think.
Oh, that's intelligent. I didn't know that.
And finally, then a little bit on Joe Allen, just a wee bit.
Yeah.
Manchester United.
No, I can't see it happening, and also don't sell him to United, please. Like, he's just finally earned himself into the graces and the hearts of all Liverpool fans. For him to go straight to United would just be horrible, wouldn't it?
Would you, if let's say somebody else bid 15 million for him, would you get rid?
I personally wouldn't. I think he's earned another shot. The performances in for Wales and the performances at the back end of last season, I think he's a good squad player. It's all down to him, though. I don't think he wants to be a squad player at his age. So if he doesn't want to play for us, no. I'd be happy. Sell him to Sevilla. That's why I
What
wanted
about?
it for
Do you
him.
think he'd be a squad player at United?
Of course he would be.
So
But-
do you think he would go then? Obviously, you've just said it.
I don't know. I generally don't know what I'd be thinking. Man United's a big call, isn't it? For most players.
But he's at a big club anyway. He doesn't need to go to Manchester United to sit on the
Shouldn't.
bench.
Definitely not.
I think I would. If Klopp doesn't, for me, doesn't feel like Klopp wants him.
No, he's not.
He's
I don't think he's tall or physical enough, is he? He's not got the dynamism.
And, you know, he's got a year left on his contract. If we wanted him, my guess is we would have tied that up already by now,
definitely.
like, especially before the Euros.
I think he'll go. I just don't see it going to United. I don't think we'll sell to United
Liverpool
either.
won't sell to United. What was it, 1952 or 1962 was the last time we sold directly to them, when it was still cordial, when we were just better than them.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
It hasn't happened since. Remember all the Heinz stuff in the mid-2000s and that, like, and Ferguson just being an absolute tit over that when they didn't want him, like. But yeah, you never know. Anyway, that's the Daily News Show in roughly 10 minutes. We didn't cut anything off today. We managed to get it all discussed, so that's good. Don't forget to subscribe to the Redmen TV for more daily news and other such shit like umboos. Thank you very much for joining me, Aubrey. Thank you for joining me as well, and the lads behind the camera. Appreciate it.